So I'm Trevor Hansen, CEO of Motivate, based in San Diego. I grew up. My parents were the publishers of the first senior targeted newspaper in the country in San Diego in 1971. They expanded it to Orange County, LA in '73. My first recollection of spending quality time with my family was being underneath the light table when you actually used the little rollers and the paste up and put papers together like that. So, I've been bleeding ink in this industry for my whole life, and I think that's one of the things that drives me when we talk about the power of community press, the power in language, in culture, tuning fork media that speaks to individual communities. It's that I grew up in it. I believe in it. I believe in the importance of journalism. I believe in the power of the press. So a lot of the actions that we've taken in the industry that Melanie speaks of, or the commitment that we make to the constituencies that we serve, I believe is really driven from that very foundation that I personally started in, which was trying to take vital content to an audience that needed it, wanted it, and it was exclusively written for. So that being so that's really kind of my story coming into this. So with that, what I want to say is, first, I'm really humbled, you guys, to even be invited to participate in this. I know what the road you guys have blazed for the 30, 40 years that a lot of you have been publishing, and some maybe even more. I know what it takes in the print world. I know the ups and downs. We've lived it. We've definitely put on Band-Aids and Bactine in our 30, 40 years at this company as well. So, first of all, kudos to you. We're humbled, we're honored, and I'm really hoping that we can be a positive partner and help everyone grow and thrive. So a little bit about Motivate. We are based in San Diego. We are a leading specialized media partner in the country. We work with corporations direct, including Walmart, Macy's, General Motors, Microsoft, General Mills. We work on behalf of some of the biggest ad agencies in the country, from MediaVest, Spark, Omnicom, OMD, Zenith, Verizon, you name it. So we definitely are able to provide value to both sides of the equation, both the agency side and the client side direct. We are a diversity supplier. That's one thing that definitely helps in that conversation. We're women business owned since 1973. What's important for me to tell you guys is that at the end of the day, we're just here. If I've done my job, we're growing. I'm here to hopefully help bring insights, research, a voice, some catalyst effort in driving awareness and sales, so that a high tide helps rise all boats. How do we just go in and start making moves? How do we create awareness, and how do we take advantage of this moment in time? I think you'll notice in a very short, we're talking 14 days, we have brand new logos rolled out. We have a brand new site rolled out. We have press releases going national in relationship to this partnership. When we looked at the LGBT space, what I found was a big gap. I found a big gap where there's this moment in time that this market and a group of publishers and content producers and brand connectors have an opportunity where there is a lot of conversation about the market, but yet I haven't heard anything about the media. And I think there's just this void of where's our voice, and how are we going to take advantage of this moment? How are we going to market ourselves better? And in Motivate's experience, the way we've been able to become the number one placement company for Hispanic, African American, Asian media in the country is that we invest in the insights and the resources, the tools, the technology to be able to have a conversation and create a voice. So a couple of things that we're bringing to the table real quick for you guys is, one, we partnered with one of the largest research companies in the country based out of South Florida, and we've done the first ever LGBTQ population projection modeling down to the zip code level. So our company is Tableau Enterprise. Tableau is considered one of the top visualization tools in the country for digitally showing, whether it's mapping, pie charts, bar charts, about data, big data, mashed data. So what my screen is showing right now is this case study we put together for Forever 21, where we took a look at all of their locations nationwide. We analyzed a 15-minute drive time around those locations, and we were able to identify that the total adult LGBT population in a 15-minute drive time around all their locations is just short of 5.9 million. As I'm clicking through these Tableau tabs, now we start to drive insights for them, which is based on those stores in that radius. LA is the primary driver of the size of the prize, and I can sort and slice and dice and take a look at this data from the DMA level. 500 and just short of 600,000 population in LGBT around their stores, followed up with New York, San Francisco, Chicago. But what else is really interesting is we can actually segment their stores and their markets by percentage, by index, and actually their number one index market and by percentage of market is right here in Palm Springs in California. Followed up with the third one down the line is, or fourth and fifth is actually Eugene and Portland, Oregon. So we start to create these aha moments for Forever 21 or Walmart or General Motors or whoever it may be to say, look, around your locations, this is the population, this is the community, and this is the size of the prize, and this is why we got to do some custom messaging in their media. So very, very cool tech that we're bringing to the table to help showcase the value proposition of why this store or this retailer need this market, what it means for the bottom line, and how we're going to deliver it more efficiently and more effectively than any other media vehicle. We also have a tab here that shows how we're going to be able to integrate and overlay your digital effort. So if you guys have emailmarketing.com, if you have your Facebook, Instagram, and we want to do social shout-outs as part of the program, we can show that digital overlay. So very, very cool tech, but to me, what's less important here, I think the tech's important, but what's more important is the fact that we have the data. No one else in the country has this data about the LGBT population and the who, the what, the when, the where of this market. So we're gonna tape this message and we're gonna get it right in front of C-suite. Again, hopefully driving growth. We want to bring new revenue, new clients to the table based on this very, very important data. The second data that I don't really have an example here to show you because it's brand new, but we partnered with a company called Latinum, which is one of the other biggest research consortiums in the country, and Latinum is almost like a membership group, and the membership includes Kellogg's, General Mills, General Motors, some of the biggest brands in the country, and four of us that are members came together and invested in the largest LGBT psychographic, demographic, and media consumption research study ever, and that just broke like 2 to 3 weeks ago. There was only one other agency that participated, an agency named Walton Isaacson out of Southern California, they do all the Toyota Acura business. So we have 79 new slides of everything about print media, influencers, bloggers, digital, economic confidence, what we shop for, what we don't for, what initiatives we're behind, anti-bullying, this, that, and the other, where things stand, what makes us move, what makes us walk away. So tons of data, and what you're hopefully going to be able to see is that data, those insights, that population data in action over the next handful of weeks and months as we leverage this data and we leverage this population projection modeling to be able to get in front of the top Fortune 100 companies in the country to go showcase the value of NEMA, the value of the membership, the potency of the marketplace, and essentially how we want $500,000 from every one of them. We put together this agreement, you guys. We did some great work with, and I'm not going to remember everybody's names, I apologize, but, we did some great work with Steven from Minneapolis, I believe, and the crew from Las Vegas, and, of course, Jerry and team. And what was really important to me in this whole thing is that we put together an agreement that's based on growth. I'm not out there trying to, the other vendors in this space, we've worked with them for years. So we have great relationships with all these other guys out there, whether it's Gay Ad Network or Rivendell or whatever. This isn't about trying to win that business. This is about trying to win new business and really make a move in this marketplace. And as we do that, what's been fun is we've been able to put an agreement together that covers off on a couple of things. I don't win unless we all win. So this is a performance-driven agreement. I mean, Motivate is going to invest a lot of money into this because I believe the outcome will be there. The second thing is that this outcome is fully transparent. So I wanted to put an agreement together because sometimes in this industry there's a lot of kind of dark corners in the room and you don't know what's going on. And so what I wanted to do is put together a very straightforward agreement that said, look, if we go bill $1 million, here's what's going to happen with it. Here's when you're going to get paid. Here's how I'm going to get paid. And here's why we're going to go get another $1 million. So it's a very straightforward agreement that just says we're going to go kick butt and here's how all the money's distributed. So there's no questions of what we do, how we do it, or what we're doing. And what else? One thing that's exciting about this agreement is that if Stephen and the team in Minneapolis happen to know Jasmine at Target and they can broker the meeting, this agreement has an allocation. Everyone can win. If we can open up doors, my data, my technology, our insights will win, and therefore we want everybody to win. So there's opportunities for everybody to grow, both just in a print P&L as well as opening the doors for the whole industry.
Stephen, you want to talk about the agreement, and then Russ, I want you to talk about the importance of the analytics that we need from the publishers if they want Trevor at Motivate to include their data. We got to get the data. So let's start with Stephen up in Minnesota.
Currently, when I get an insertion order from Rivendell, Rivendell takes 30% from my bill, and I end up with 70 cents on the dollar. Under the new agreement, the publisher will not get 70%, they will get 75%. 2.5% goes to NEPA, 15% goes to the ad agency, Trevor, and whomsoever sells the company, such as Trevor mentioned Target, will get 7.5%. So a local company that has connections that can place ads and convince that major corporation you've got this many people, you'll get 7.5% of all that's sold. If not, and Trevor does it, one of his people will get the 7.5. The second thing is, currently under the terms that I'm getting, my CFO has connections with Rivendell, and they've been good about 60 days for payment. Under the new terms with Trevor and his team, they plan to do 30 to 45 days. Of course, if tear sheets are required, you'll have to produce those. But that's just to let you know, 30 to 45 versus the good situation of 60 days currently. And I don't have anything else unless there's any questions.
So let's hold the questions. I know there's going to be questions. And let's pivot quickly to Russ.
Cool. So in our Portland conference, we kicked off an initiative called the NEMA Consolidated Analytics. And what this program does is automatically collect all of the website data that you are already receiving and consolidate that into a format that allows us to crunch the numbers and provide a unified analytics number for Trevor and for the LGBT publishing industry in a way that is standardized, in a way that's rolled up, and in a way that's automated, so that you don't have to keep telling us how many people are coming to your website, how many people are coming to your Facebook page, things like that. And so what we've done is we've received a sponsorship from segment.com. This is about a $5,000 annual cost that they're giving to us. And what this does is allows us to have you put a snippet of code on your website, very much like your Google Analytics code, and it mirrors your Google Analytics data that Google's already collecting on your behalf and forwards a copy of that to the NEPA servers. The NEPA servers then go into crunch mode, and we start aggregating that data to give us top-level numbers that you don't have to report on. This is the first time anything like this has been done in a niche industry. We are guiding this under very strong fiduciary duty responsibilities, so we're very careful about how we aggregate the numbers and not share your private data, but we want to be able to automatically collect this data on a real-time basis and be able to report back so that we have that data. And again, no one is doing this on an industry-wide basis or on a micro niche basis like we'll be able to. So this is really groundbreaking, revolutionary, big data stuff that we're dipping our toes into.
Yeah, and I will add to that I'm not a website guy. Like I can barely hold my own when I talk about email. And so if there are other publishers out there that feel the same way, the process of doing what Russ is talking about is effortless, and we have a team that is going to help everyone do this. If you're proficient, you can handle it, great, knock yourself out. If you need someone to hold your hand, we're here. Is that accurate, Russ?
That's accurate. And we've been piloting this since the Portland conference, and we currently have 5 publications submitting their data. Our back-end infrastructure is set to scale. We're using Amazon's network of servers so that when we start aggregating the millions of hits a day that we'll be getting, we've got that ability to scale up.
That is so huge. The other
Love
piece of information,
it.
the other piece of news that came out, they've done it every year. Bloomberg came out with a article talking about the LGBTQ adult economic impact that we have in the nation. But Bloomberg came out and said that we are the number one economic driver as a demographic, LGBTQ adults, in the nation, and not by a little. Like, we're second by billions of dollars. This last year, we spent almost $1 trillion, 980 billion. Isn't that right, Trevor?
Yeah.
So here's what I take away from that is, if we are the largest economic impact as a demographic, then why in the hell are we all just scraping by?
Yeah.
And Trevor, as he said, he not only bleeds ink, but he understands that is a huge missed opportunity, and he is salivating at making sure that he rights that wrong. It's maybe not righting the wrong, but definitely getting us on the track that we're supposed to be on. And that's what gets me fired up every single day that I sit at my desk, is that I know, intuitively I know, that it's this is our time. This is our time. We have been in the closet, I'm doing air quotes, for decades. We have been in the closet not being able to run our businesses because we're marginalized and we're considered a deviant subculture. Well, that's no more. The Supreme Court has validated us, and it is our time. So that's my little soapbox. There's only one direction, you guys. It's up. It's our time. It's our time. It's our time. I love you all, and I promise there'll be another national call here in the near future.
Thank you, June. All right, y'all be safe out there.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Well, I've been sitting here all day, I've been sitting in this waiting room, and I've been waiting on my friends, yes, I'm waiting on this conference call.